This is your News Source Evening Bulletin for today, Wednesday, the 10th day of July in the year 2024. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting, and here's what we're tracking tonight. A legal conference on criminal justice reform opened at the Marriott Hotel this morning, with President Irfan Ali highlighting the issue of predictability in the justice system. At the conference, which has brought together legal luminaries from Guyana and the region, the president said there must be consistency in decisions handed down by the courts, warning that variations in decisions can expose the justice system to all sorts of assertions.
What do I mean when I speak about judicial predictability? The soundness of decision making in the judiciary, the structure of the judiciary, the quality of decisions, and importantly, the consistency of decisions are important elements, in my humble opinion, of judicial predictability. We examine similar issues by different magistrates across the region. This is not Guyana issue or Trinidad issue, and see the variation in decision. Then it exposes the system to all sorts of assertions, and we have to guard the system. And the only way we can guard the system is if the elements of judicial predictability that is based on fairness, justice, is kept intact.
Further, the president said in this era of artificial intelligence, the regional judiciary appears to be lagging behind and must therefore put the requisite systems in place to catch up with global technological advances. It was against that backdrop that he underscored the need for the continuous education of lawyers, magistrates, and judges. The Caribbean Court of Justice's Academy for Law, President Ali said, can play an even greater role in this regard.
But that academy, in my humble opinion, must focus on the emerging issues. And maybe through an accreditation process, design short executive programs that give our lawyers and judges specialized training and specialized certification, maybe international certification too, on key issues and challenges that we are facing now and we will face in the future.
The president said at a meeting with the president of the CCJ, Justice Adrian Saunders, he offered Guyana's continued support to the advancement of education at the level of the Caribbean Court of Justice. President Ali also spoke of the need to address the root causes of crime and the importance of political stability, the rule of law and democracy in the maintenance of law and order.
If there is political instability, if the rule of law does not exist, if society operates in an undemocratic environment, criminality feeds off of that. So it's very important also that in examining the entire ecosystem surrounding the criminal justice system, that political stability, the rule of law, and democracy forms an important platform for the system to operate under.
Meanwhile, Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs, Senior Counsel Anil Nandlal, said the conference forms part of the Support for Criminal Justice System project, which is funded by the Inter-American Development Bank and is intended to effect reforms in the criminal justice system in Guyana. The Attorney General said the conference was inspired by the 7th Biennial Law Conference of the CCJ Academy for Law, which was held in Barbados back in 2023.
As students of the law, we know too well that the law must remain organic and must be nurtured, shaped, and molded to meet the exigencies of an ever-evolving society and the dynamic human conduct it is intended to govern. On the converse, stagnation of the law will result in a societal evolution beyond the regulatory capability of the law. This resultant social advancement without a commensurate legal regulatory framework is what leads to a breakdown of law and order and consequential social chaos. Unfortunately, such is the legal and social reality in almost every jurisdiction across our region, with a spiraling rate of violence, crime, and ensuing social turmoil.
Mr. Nandlal said the stark reality was recognized at the summit of the heads of CARICOM and the number of conferences in the region last year, which gave rise to the Needham Point Declaration. Chief Justice of Belize, Justice Louise Plenman, said the Needham's Point Declaration is already being advanced in Belize, with a number of changes taking effect in the justice system there. Chief Justice Plenman is Guyanese and the first woman to hold the position of Chief Justice in Belize.
We embarked on robust and facilitative case management training of judges to encourage comprehensive and attentive case management before and during trial to aid with the swift dispensation of justice. Our reinvigorated approach to criminal case management has afforded judges, the prosecution and defense counsel the facilities to telescope the evidence before the court. The most immediate result is that less adversarial practices are being deployed by counsel, which augurs well for the speedy justice and less protracted trials.
The Chief Justice of Belize said there is also a renewed commitment to the reduction of the backlog of cases. Additionally, she said there is a buy-in for judiciary-led reforms from other arms of government as a result of the adoption of the Needham's Point Declaration. The chairman of the CCJ Academy for Law, Justice Winston Anderson, acting chancellor of the local judiciary, Justice Janet Cummings, and IDB country representative Solozano Salazar were among the officials present for the opening of the conference, along with judges and magistrates and other members of the legal fraternity. The conference concludes tomorrow. More news coming up in just a moment.
Your own home is so much more than just 4 walls, floors, and ceilings. It's a lifetime of great memories and stories. Come talk to us and start your journey home today.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Calling all small to large scale businesses, the International Building Expo 2024 is coming to the National Stadium from August 8th to 11th, 2024. Whether you're a small business or a major player, there's a package for you starting as low as $20,000. Network with industry leaders, boost your brand visibility, and generate high quality sales leads. Register now at www.buildingexpo.gy. That's www.buildingexpo.gy. Or call 592-635-1103 or 592-635-1104.
Oh no, welcome to Building Expo. Oh, yeah. Oh.
Tonight, a Charlestown family is praying and hoping for the full recovery of their 6-year-old son, who was shot to the head last evening while standing near to his mother's food stand in the Charlestown community. The shooting took place as a gunman opened fire near the stand at a man in a suspected execution attempt. The intended target managed to escape from the scene, but as persons dashed for cover, the young boy was seen falling to the ground with blood coming from his head. The gunman escaped from the area as the lad was rushed to the Georgetown Hospital by his mother. He remains in a critical condition and has not regained consciousness. The incident took place at around 7:45 last night. The Guyana police force in a statement said the suspect was seen pulling up close to the food vendor stand moments before opening fire behind the man, who is known in the area as Crab, and hitting the 6-year-old instead. The police said 2 9mm spent shells were discovered at the scene. An eyewitness said the suspect is a man who is known in the community as Mice Man.
Told that somebody had beef over, so the man got somebody else has got a beef, and he passed the city man and just started squeezing.
The Guyana police force said the investigations are ongoing tonight. An investigation has been launched by the police as well as the Child Care and Protection Agency after a 14-year-old boy lost his life by drowning yesterday at the National Aquatic Center at Lilienthal. The dead youth has been identified as Joel Adams, who lived at the Sophia Care Center, which is managed by the Child Care and Protection Agency and the Ministry of Human Services. According to a police report of the incident, one of the coaches related to the investigators that a swim session had ended when the teenager was seen doing a backflip into the pool. Investigators were told that the lifeguard jumped overboard to rescue him. The teen was pulled from the pool and resuscitation efforts were started by a nurse. The police report said the young man was rushed to the hospital where he was pronounced dead on arrival. But some of the other children who were part of the swim program have related to their guardians that they never saw the teenager doing any backflip into the pool. They said they saw when he was pulled from the water and efforts were made to revive him, but could not say exactly when he went on the water. The teenager was taken to the pool for the Ministry of Culture, Youth and Sports swim program along with other youths from the Sophia Care Center and other children's home. There were more than 50 children participating in the swim program yesterday. A number of questions have now surfaced about the number of lifeguards and instructors that should be on duty during the children's program. At the Sophia Care Center today, counselors were summoned to offer support and guidance to the other children who were at the swim program yesterday and to the friends of the young boy who died. He was a resident at the Child Care Center for more than 6 years.
Your own home is so much more than just 4 walls, floors, and ceilings. It's a lifetime of great memories and stories. Come talk to us and start your journey home today.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Monster, bust the flavors. We're full of flavors. Bust the flavors, that me crave for. We're full of flavors. Tell your neighbors about the bust the flavors. Grab a bust the flavors. Yeah, thirst buster, grab a buster. Bust the flavor, taste the savor. Buster, bust the flavors. Buster, bust the flavors.
Making a claim or objection, you must visit the GCOM registration office responsible for your area of residence to do so. Visit the GCOM registration office responsible for your area of residence to conduct any of the above transactions. All GCOM registration offices will be open Mondays to Fridays from 8 hours to 18 hours, Saturdays and Sundays from 10 hours to 14 hours. For further information, contact GCOM at 225-027829, 226-65578 or 9, 223-9650, or visit our website at www.gcom.org.gy.
calling all small to large scale businesses. The International Building Expo 2024 is coming to the National Stadium from August 8th to 11th, 2024. Whether you're a small business or a major player, there's a package for you starting as low as $20,000. Network with industry leaders, boost your brand visibility, and generate high quality sales leads. Register now at www.buildingexpo.gy. That's www.buildingexpo.gy, or call 592-635-1103 or 592-635-1104.
Oh no, welcome to Building Expo. Yeah.
Well, in response to a letter writer in one of the daily newspapers, the Guyana Elections Commission today made it clear that it has no authority to remove the leader of the New Movement Party from the National Assembly, although the Commission is still actively discussing Kissoon's presence in the Assembly. In its statement, the Elections Commission identified the constitutional provisions under which a member of the National Assembly can be removed, and those provisions do not allow a role for GCOM. GCOM has found itself in the middle of the controversy over Dr. Asher Kissoon's refusal to surrender the parliamentary seat allocated to the three joining parties in keeping with an agreement. Kissoon, in keeping with the agreement with the other two parties, should have vacated the seat after 90 days. However, it has been more than 15 months since she has occupied the parliamentary seat, refusing to make way for a representative of a new and united Guyana to take up the parliamentary seat. GCOM has found itself discussing the issue because the leader of the New Movement list has invoked his power of recall, but the Elections Commission and the National Assembly appear to have allowed Kissoon into the Assembly without the list leader's guidance in keeping with the Constitution. Kissoon had claimed that Ford was removed as leader of her party's list, but the Guyana Elections Commission appears to have no evidence of that and may have erred when it allowed Kissoon's name to be extracted for the National Assembly in the first place, using a letter from her party that was signed by a list leader that the Elections Commission has no record of. The other parties that make up the joiner list and the known leader of the list have all been pressing for Kissoon's removal as a member of parliament. However, she has remained in the seat and has so far refused to budge or even address the issue. Her party pulled in just over 200 votes at the last elections. When she became a member of the National Assembly, the governing PPP used its majority in the Assembly to also make her the Deputy Speaker. Minister of Governance Gail Teixeira has stressed the need for public servants, especially high-ranking officials, to conduct their functions more diligently in order to promote good governance and the effective management of the systems to ensure equitable access, fairness, and transparency in Guyana. Speaking in the opening of a roundtable discussion on ethical behavior within the public service at the Pegasus Hotel yesterday, Minister Teixeira said permanent secretaries, regional executive officers, procurement officers, and other technical persons and government agencies like the Ombudsman Office must be held accountable to the citizens as they manage their affairs.
When we're handling the people's money and the people's programs, we have a moral obligation to do it the right way, the best way, and to make sure that people get value for money.
The roundtable discussion focused on developing the capacity of public officials to eliminate instances of corruption. The forum was held under the theme Promoting Integrity and Effectiveness in Public Bodies and Authorities Responsible for Preventing Corruption. The minister said the government is looking at how it can build capacity for public servants to perform effectively at the highest level. The efforts include making more training programs available and ensuring that public officials are knowledgeable of the rules and laws governing their various functions. According to the governance minister, the government has reached a point where it cannot be business as usual. She highlighted several initiatives undertaken by the administration to tighten the grip on corruption within the public sector. The governance minister also highlighted the importance of abiding by the Integrity Commission since it represents the people. She explained that the commission must operate and build a culture that is fair and transparent. Minister Teixeira also said that the government is working on amending the Integrity Commission legislation to ensure that individual reports as required and within the specified time frame. Just last month, a permanent secretary was sanctioned by the U.S. government over her alleged involvement in a bribery scheme. Her U.S. visa had been previously revoked. There have also been complaints about other officials in various government ministries and agencies being involved in corrupt practices.
Another car, or is it a house?
If you're looking for sweetness to put inside a basket, I am the whole thinking market.
Get ready for the 3rd edition of Blankets and Baskets on August 4, 2024. The Maltino's ground comes alive with Guyana's best entertainers and a vibe that can't be matched. Come for a chance to win numerous prizes, including the grand prize of a... Tickets are $6,000 with other special luxury packages from $40,000 to $120,000. It's the Blankets and Baskets Extravaganza. For more information, check out Blankets and Baskets on Facebook.
GCOM is currently conducting a claims and objections exercise to produce an official list of electors, OLE. If you are 18 years or over by June 30, 2024, and you are a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent, or naturalization, or a citizen from a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for 1 year or more, you are eligible for inclusion in the OLE. GCOM has posted the preliminary list of electors PLE in all the registration divisions for you to check if you are listed and whether your particulars are accurate. You can object to anyone you believe does not qualify for inclusion in the OLE. To do so, you must be listed in the same divisional list as the person you are objecting to. Visit the GCOM registration office responsible for your area of residence to make an objection. The objections aspect of this exercise will end on Monday, the 22nd of July, 2024. For more information, contact GCOM on 2250-27829 or visit www.gcom.org.gy.
Guyana's economy is rapidly transforming, and we're all part of it. Guyoil is at the forefront of this development by providing reliable and efficient energy and supporting community development from the very core. 100% of Guyoil's profit goes back to building schools, roads, and other important infrastructure that connects our cities and towns, providing fuel to domestic, marine, industrial, and aerial transportation. Guyoil has now repositioned itself as a market leader in the petroleum industry, building a better future for all of us.
NYC, New York City. Get ready as the original Big People Party with the same vibes you've seen and loved comes to you this Labor Day weekend on Saturday, August 31st with some of the biggest one-man bands out of Guyana and New York. Look out for Super A, Murphy, Busta, and Super Terry. Big People Party! Along with the legendary Glenn Washington.
Baby, don't take my kindness for weakness. If loving you is wrong, I don't wanna be right.
Glenn Washington and his band at Industry City, New York City. Get your super early bird general tickets at $40 and VIP access $150 all inclusive. And all are available at hjexperience.com. This event is brought to you by Hits and Jams Entertainment, Marvelous Entertainment, and GD Events. It's the original Big People Party at Industry City, New York City on Saturday, August 31st. The big and proper edition.
With your regional and international news tonight, I am Svetlana Marshall in the region. According to Reuters, leaders across the Caribbean were still tallying the financial toll brought by the earliest Atlantic storm on record to intensify to the maximum Category 5 level after it left a trail of destruction in Jamaica and islands of the Eastern Caribbean. On Tuesday, Prime Minister Dickon Mitchell said there is no doubt that the disaster will have a major impact on Grenada's economic situation, adding that the losses are in the hundreds of millions of dollars. 2 islands in Grenada faced almost complete devastation. Mitchell emphasized the need to rebuild structures resistant to storms, noting many of the country's wood houses are not insured as severe weather becomes more frequent due to record sea temperatures, which scientists say is due to fossil fuel-driven climate change. A team of insurers is set to arrive on Wednesday, and the government plans to announce fiscal measures by early next week. St. Lucia posted earlier estimates of close to $2 million from damages including buildings, sea moss harvests, and banana plantations. Rainfall and debris hindered assessments in Jamaica, whose agriculture sector initially reported over $6 million in damages. CARICOM Chair Irfan said many long-term crops were lost and farmers would face issues for years to come in a heartbreaking initial assessment for agriculture. Let's tell you now that approval of Brazil's President Luiz Lula da Silva went up in July to the highest level in 2024. A poll showed on Wednesday, with most respondents having favorable views on his criticism of the central bank's interest rate policy. Approval of Lula's way of governing rose to 54% this month from 50% in May, according to a survey, while disapproval slipped to 43% from 47% in the previous survey. According to the survey, 87% of the poll respondents agreed with Lula's opinion that interest rates in Brazil are way too high, while 66% showed support for his public criticism of the central bank's policy stance. The poll also found that 64% of the people polled had never heard of Lula's bashing of the monetary authority. The poll also showed that 53% of people did not see recent comments from Lula as the reason behind the weakening of the Brazilian real against the US dollar, with 34% holding him accountable and 13% not knowing how to answer. The Brazilian currency has fallen more than 10% so far for 2024. And finally tonight, international news. U.S. President Joe Biden and leaders of other NATO member states are poised to unveil new aid and reiterate a membership pledge for Ukraine at a summit in Washington after the U.S. leader vowed to defend Kiev against Russia's invasion. A draft communique prepared for the meeting of the 32-nation alliance said the allies intend to provide Ukraine with minimum funding of 40 billion euros in military aid within the next year, but stopped short of the multi-year commitment NATO's Secretary General had hoped. The draft, seen by Reuters, also strengthened past NATO language on China, calling it a decisive enabler of Russia's war effort in Ukraine, and saying Beijing continues to pose systemic challenges to Euro-Atlantic security. The NATO Secretary General told reporters he expected allies will agree on a substantial package for Ukraine and would expand other partnerships, particularly in the Asia-Pacific region. He said the package would involve a new NATO command for Ukraine to provide security assistance and training, and a long-term pledge to continue and sustain support for Kiev. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Svetlana Marshall reporting and encouraging you to stay safe.